You know, just the other day, the Prime Minister of Canada welcomed 160 Syrian refugees into our country. He was there to welcome them with open arms at the Toronto International Airport, and it was heartwarming for me to see that, but it called to mind something that I've often thought about, which must be so difficult for people emigrating to like North America or to the UK to really understand English slang. And I'm thinking things like cool, which is something that can mean like an actual cold object, or it can be this is a neat thing, or things like wicked, which is both good and bad, or on fleek, which, I don't even know what that means. I went to Disneyland this past summer, jealous, and I went to this often overlooked attraction called the Hall of Presidents. And you pass this as you come into the front gates and go right into Main Street. So what it is that you see this short film, and then there's this animatronic Abraham Lincoln, and he goes on a rampage and kills a few vampires. It's really quite entertaining, but I'm joking about only half of that. There is this short film, like I said, that plays before the animatronic section starts, and it's a little bit uber patriotic for my taste as a Canadian citizen, but I can chalk that up to just not being my thing. Yet there was this statement that was said in that short film that I want to read out verbatim here. Let me just grab my computer here and read it out. And this is something that President Lincoln said in a speech one time, and he said, "We all declare for liberty, but in using the same word, we do not mean the same thing." And that caused my brain to kind of go into hyperdrive while I was thinking about how we often use similar words when we're talking to other people, but we can actually have vastly different meanings for those same words. And not really to jump into the political, although that's exactly what I'm about to do, it's interesting how we even see that in our news, where one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. And for instance, when I say that I love something, I mean that I truly love it. Apparently it doesn't mean that for Cassandra, though. Cassandra's my mom. And I guess why it got me thinking so much is because Lincoln is talking specifically about the word liberty. And this seems to be super important for Americans. And I mean, it's not just an American word, but it seems like they're obsessed with it. Give me liberty or give me death. Although I can't remember now if that's the French Revolution or the American Revolution, but the point still stands. Does it? But I guess I'm wondering why they're obsessed with it. I mean, liberty means to be free from oppressive restrictions. And not to get into specifics, which is only just going to muddy my point, I realize, but people often say that their liberty is being infringed when rights are just being granted to other people. Or when there is a clear strategy on how to save countless numbers of lives, it seems that personal liberty is more important than collective liberty. I don't know the rest of Lincoln's speech, and because I start working like 25 minutes from now, I'm not going to look it up, so I realize that I'm being lazy. But I'm sure that in somewhere in that speech it was Mexico's fault. We use language to try and be very clear with our intent. But sometimes we have to realize that even though we're using the same words, oftentimes we're not using the same dictionary. Maybe I should put that last phrase onto a t-shirt. Hey, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kyle. I make videos every Thursday. Every week I also sorta co-host a podcast called Whatever This Is. A link to that and all of my social media is down in the description below. What word do you think is often misunderstood? Let me know in the comments, a place where you can use any word that you want and misspell it any way you can.